welcome back to the manky table. I'd like to start this video by saying two things. So first of all, I'd like to apologize in advance for how my voice sounds. I've had the flu all week and I'm still recovering, so I sound more nasal than usual. I'm sorry guys, but there's nothing I can do. Second of all, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody because I uploaded a few shorts of my Fionna repaint, and the amount of likes and views that they've gotten and subscribers is something I never in my life expected to get. I am so humbled and grateful, guys. Like, I have no words, and I'm just so thankful that you guys thought my work was worth your time and your views. I have no words, so thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. And now I'm even more motivated to give you guys more work, so let's go. So I am doing a Fionna repaint from Fionna and Cake today. She's also the character from Adventure Time. I decided to use Mattel's Bo Beep from Toy Story 4 Epic Moves doll for a few reasons. Because first of all, the body type is closest, I think, to Fionna's. It has the wide hips and the big legs, which is a focal part of her design that I don't want to take away. Also, her hair is blonde, so I don't need to reroot, so that's another bonus point, and the face is also pretty similar. Also, one of her hands is in a grip form to hold like a staff or a sword, which is perfect because Fionna has a sword. And also she comes with shoes which are just like Fionna's, so that's so many things that I don't need to customize. I mean, this is big brain time, guys. So let's start as usual by removing the face paint with some acetone. And once she's clean and ready, it's off in the wash for her. Pro tip, guys, always clean your stuff like dolls which you buy or find in the thrift store and the charity shop, because you don't know where that shit has been, like what people have been doing with them. There's a lot of freaky ass people out there, so you always gotta be ready. Wash your shit. Once I'm done with that, I do a few sketches and plan out my doll so I know where to go and what direction I want to take and how I want the finished piece to look. I'm not comfortable enough at the moment to design my own stencils or to sew without stencils. I don't even know if that's possible. So I do the old-fashioned way. I put some cling film on the doll, then I wrap it in Scotch tape, draw the outline of the clothes and cut them out. And once that's done, I just trace the outline of the stencil on paper, cut that out, and usually trace it onto the fabric directly and then cut out the finished piece. So here I'm making Fionna's sock, and I was a bit lazy. I decided not to sew it together but use the glue method. Somebody in the comment video for my Anastasia video suggested doing this, and it's been a really helpful method so far. Thank you so much for your advice. And yeah, it's perfect for me at the moment. And I also think, to be honest, for small items of clothes like socks, you don't really need to sew them. Don't kill me, guys. I don't know the details, but I don't think you need to sew it. But anyway. Okay, so the headpiece was the most difficult part of all, because if you look at Fionna's design, the headpiece itself is already really convoluted and strange. But translating that into doll form literally just took every single ounce of creativity and brain cells I had. I basically decided to take some wire and bend it into bunny ear shape and use it as a headband and then stick some fabric onto it. And I had no idea what I was doing, and I think it's pretty clear in the video that I had no idea what I was doing, but trust the process. That's what I said to myself, and eventually we got some sort of a result. How's everybody enjoying season 2 so far? Let me know. I like it, but unpopular opinion time. I'm not the biggest fan of Fionna's character in Fionna and Cake. So hear me out, guys. I feel like the way she's written is very millennial-like. Like, it feels like a millennial wrote this because, like, Fionna is like your typical millennial mess. Everything's a mess in her life. Her job, her finances, her house, herself, basically. But everybody else is at fault and she's the victim and nobody understands her. But one day, everybody will find out that actually she's special and they realize that they were wrong all along. And it just feels like really, I don't know. And it's just this little thing that I find in her character that really annoys me. And I know a lot of you are gonna be like, oh, well, if you don't like it, why'd you make a doll of her? Well, because I like the character and I really liked her in the original series. I like her design. And, well, there's elements of the show which I like as well. I really enjoyed some parts of season 1 of Fionna and Cake, like the world building and Scarab, because let's face it, he's a bad bitch. I fucking love him. But there's also a lot of elements which I don't like, and that's good, because things aren't black and white, and it's good to be able to view a piece objectively and have elements which you like and don't like. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody's preference. Like, if you like the show, if you love Fionna as a character, that's fine by me. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but just my opinion is that this is an element of the show which is really lacking. You know how they say opinions are like assholes, everybody has one? Well, unfortunately with me is that I have too many, and I'm always gonna voice them, even if they're really unpopular. So, if you're gonna stick around, please be expecting some unpopular opinions being thrown your way. Okay, at this point I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I had to glue this thing together somehow. And the only way I could glue it together was like this. And I know it looks super unprofessional and messy, and any professional seamstress that sees this will die, but guys, bear with me, I'm learning. Let's move on to the bag instead. So for her bag, I decided to use this Monster High Enid bag, which I already had. And the front is a bit different, so I used epoxy and stuck it all over like I usually do. I know this is probably not the way to make the bag, and I probably should have made a fabric bag, but I have no idea how to, so I just decided to go the old epoxy route, because if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. And honestly, I have to admit, I really like working with epoxy. Like, any excuse I have to use epoxy, I will use it, because it's just such a fun medium, and usually it always gives the best results, so I love epoxy. Now let's prepare the Subway potion to paint our bag. Oh, that drop kind of looked like an egg, I just realized. That's kind of funny. Anyway. Ultimately, I'm really happy with how the bag turned out. I think it looks just like hers, and the colors are more or less matching, so I'm pretty happy. Making the sword was super fun. I used like a cocktail stick, I think that's what they're called, and it was also a good excuse to drink Milkis, which if you don't know is a South Korean fizzy drink that's like yogurt flavored and super delicious. I really recommend. I basically cut out a piece of the aluminium can and then sketched the sword outline onto it and then cut it out. I don't know if there was a better way to make the sword. If so, then I don't know how to do it, because obviously I didn't do it. But still, I think this is a really fun and very easy method to make a cheap sword, especially if you're not professional. I think it works well. And I decided to do Fionna's ribbon sword, so I'm cutting the white ribbon now and carefully gluing it onto the sword itself. So here's what the finished piece looks like. It's a bit rough on the back, and also, well, the metal isn't the best, but still, I think it's really cute and I like the ribbons. Now, you know I had to make cake, because like, what is Fionna without cake? And what is me without cake? I love cake. Anyway, I decided to complicate life for myself as usual and bought some cheap-ass acrylic wool instead of proper felting wool, because I decided that I want to have a cake that looks like a cat. So instead of making cake from like epoxy or something to make it look like a model, which is also a good option and which will look realistic, I decided that I wanted cake to look like a proper realistic cat, like to be fluffy. And the best way I thought to achieve that was to do a felt cat. I decided to make cake from felt because the texture would be more realistic, like it would be fluffy like a real cat, and also I would be able to give it bendable joints, which I feel personally is quite important to the character of Kay because she's very dynamic and she's constantly shifting and changing. And I feel like if I were to make an epoxy model of cake, it would look good, like realistic, but it wouldn't have the same flexibility like a felt one. And as you can see from the video, like I basically used wire to achieve those bendable joints. And I mean, like it's not super perfect, but I really like the way it turned out. Also, I want to give a shout out to my friend for all her tips on how to felt. Thank you so much. They came in so handy. And guys, please check out her work. She's absolutely amazing. Thank you again. Now for the eyes, I wanted them to be a bit more realistic, so I decided to make epoxy eyes, paint them and then stick them on because I felt like if I felted them it wouldn't look as good. Now the mouth I did felt and maybe it doesn't look as realistic as it could, but hey, I think it still looks nice. Also, the next day after posting the reel of making cake on YouTube, I realized that I should have also outlined her eyes to make them pop a bit more, so that's what I'm doing now. And now, let's finally start with the star of the moment. Now that the clothes and the swords and the shoes and the cats are all done, it's time for Fionna! Lore time! So I've been wanting to do this doll for a really long time, ever since season 1 dropped. And I've had this doll in storage since like, I actually don't know how many years, but a few years for sure. And now season 2 has come out and finally I was able to take her out and do the long-awaited repaint. You guys don't know how amazing it feels to finally do the thing you've been waiting for a long time. It's like, you know, when your dad or like your grandpa, your cousin, your uncle or brother or sister or somebody in your family has like this thing that they've been holding on to for a long time because they say like, you know, one day this will come in handy. Like one day, I know we don't use it, like it's in the garage for like 5 years, but one day it's gonna come in handy. And your mom or somebody is always like, oh, will you throw that thing out? Like, there's no need for it. Like, can you just like get rid of it? And they're like, no, but like one day it's gonna come in handy. I swear it will. It was the exact same with this doll. Like, it was in storage for years. And I was like, one day it's gonna come in handy. Like, they're gonna drop season 2 and finally she's gonna have her moment. And it happened. It finally happened. And this feeling, it's unbeatable. Also, since we're talking about lore, here's a quick fun fact for you guys. I'm always sick on my birthdays. And this week it was my birthday on Wednesday, and I was like super sick with the flu. I don't know why this happens, but since like 2013, when I lived in Galway and I had bronchitis for my birthday, I've been sick like every single year since. The only exception was 2016 when I went to the ballet and I went to Carluccio's in Dublin. But apart from that, I'm always sick on my birthdays, and it's really annoying. But like at the same time, I feel like if I wasn't sick, I'd kind of be offended, like, if that makes sense. Because like, here's my reasoning. Being sick is like the one gift I know I'm gonna get. So like, if I don't get it, like, what do you mean I don't get my present, which is like the one present I know I will get? That's messed up. One of the most difficult things were the eyes, because I wasn't really sure how I wanted them to look and how to design them. And you can see in my sketchbook there were a lot of rough drafts before I finally decided on the final version. So this star messed me up completely. Like, I had to retake it 10 times, and I think I gained 10 kilograms from stress eating because of this doll. But it was really fun, and I really enjoyed painting her face and deciding what kind of look I wanted to give her. I was really afraid that I would like make her too cute or like yassify her too much, if that makes sense. I mean, I honestly think this is a thought that stems from like some internal misogyny, because like the idea that, oh, like she's a warrior, like she fights, she's a badass, so she can't look pretty, she can't have long eyelashes. It's really stupid. And like, honestly, this is my repainting style. I always give my dolls big eyes and long eyelashes and sparkly eyes, and they always like cute, like I think the only exception has been Vanessa, because she's more of like a but so far all my dolls are pretty much the same. And also, how do you translate this into this? Like, there's going to be some artistic interpretation taken and liberties, sorry. And just for the final touches, I touched up her hair a bit with some got to be glued to make it look more like the cartoon version as best as I could. Anyway, here is the finished piece. I am so happy with her. She took so much of my time and stress and nerves, and she was really stressful to make, especially her face. But I think the end result is worth it because she looks exactly how I pictured her, and the hair turned out better than I expected, which is surprising because I'm not that good with hair. And like, I don't want to glaze myself, but the clothes low-key look good as well. Also, I am so happy I decided to make cake from felt. I think she does give a bit nightmare fuel. I don't really like her mouth, but the texture is there, the catness is there, and I like it. So I'm really happy with my choice. Once again, guys, thank you so much for all your love and your support during this project because it was so helpful and so meaningful to me. I just can't even begin to explain how much it has helped me in my work. And I'm just so grateful for all of you guys. Like, you're the reason I make these, guys. If you like this video and this doll, please feel free to check out my other videos, my Instagram, and support me on Ko-fi. And in the meantime, until next repaint!